in the entire course of the meeting. Second, let's not use abbreviations such as GE, Toastmaster of the Day, or let's say TTM. Let's call it by the full name. And the third and the last tool that we all need to follow is let's mute ourselves when somebody else is speaking and unmute ourselves when it is our turn to speak. And let's all switch on our cameras so that we can have a friendly discussion with each other and see each other when we are talking to ourselves. So moving ahead, I'd like to hand it over the stage to the most beautiful, to one of the most charming people I've met in the entire course of 2 years of my Toastmaster journey, the president of this club, Toastmaster Ruchira. Ma'am, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much. The role of Sergeant at Arms so wonderfully. Let's keep a round of applause going for our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Dahlia. So today I'd like to begin the meeting with a couple of introductions from our guests. And I can see that we have guest Kalpita Banerjee. If you'd like to share a little bit about how you got to know about today's session, what your expectations are from today evening.
Ruchira, hi.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. Basically, I was looking forward to something wherein I can get in touch with people, wherein I get an opportunity to speak in public, speak in a group. Okay, so I came to know about Toastmaster Club while I was listening to some of the those international speakers who speak on the international platform. I think that is different media. That's a different platform altogether. I don't think it's a Toastmaster one, isn't it?
We do have a world champion of public speaking, which is an extension. It is from Toastmasters.
From there only I came to know about this, and then so anyways, I'm looking forward to learn something, and let's see. Hope for the best. Like what I was expecting is I'm happy to see that it's a group of women, and it's really good. Like we'll come to know about each other, and I'll come to know about many people, many of you, the experiences and everything. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you so much for coming, and I'm so glad that you've made it today. And we hope to get to know you and each other better through the course of today evening, and I hope you enjoy our meeting. With that, for the benefit of our guest, let me explain a little bit about Toastmasters as an organization. So Toastmasters is an international organization that is dedicated to building better communicators and leaders of tomorrow through something called a structured learning process of prepared speeches, impromptu speaking sections, and most of all, a continuous positive feedback. At the club level, we provide a supportive and positive learning environment where members are empowered to improve their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, before we proceed, I'd like to share with you something that I read very recently in a book called The Midnight Library that really made me introspect. And I quote, "Between life and death, there is a library. And within that library, the shelves go on forever. And every book provides a chance to try another life you could have lived, to see how things could be if you had made other life choices." Now, when I read this, the million-dollar question that came to my mind is, would I have done anything differently if I had the chance to undo my regrets? There was a point in my life, and I'm sure there are points in everyone's life, where we feel we have perhaps made a mistake. But the whole part of growing up is to realize that all mistakes can't be reversed, and sometimes we have to live with the consequences and accept things as they are. It's very easy to get lost in a maze of might have beens or could have beens, and if we start thinking backwards and keep asking ourselves, what if I had made a different choice at that time? My path of life would have been so different. But that's when I realized that we made choices at those points in time of life with the resources we had then, and then it was the best choice that we could make. I also realized that it takes a lot of courage to accept the choices that we've made in the past that have brought us to here today, and to be comfortable in our own skin. to love ourselves not despite of, but because of all the flaws or the regrets and the scars that we see. And today, to take the meeting forward as the Toastmaster of the day, we have a lady who embodies the spirit of being comfortable in her own skin. She is proudly who she is, and everyone loves her for it. She is beauty with brains, a great friend, a fellow member of the Division QPR team, a VP Education of Salt Lake Toastmasters Club and of Win Toastmasters Club. Please join me in welcoming our Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Shruti Srivastava.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ruchira, Madam President. Can we have a huge round of applause? And there is a reason why I'm not showing you my beautiful face. You have to wait. But before that, you have to tell me, today is what date? 14th.
14th.
What was that 30 days ago?
Wednesday.
All right. Very nice. And here I'm celebrating Valentine's Day with myself. How you like it? If you're smiling, I'm so glad that you're smiling, seeing this face, because I am here to make you smile and to make you realize that it is very important to smile. Smile and fall in love with your own self. If you can see yourself here in this mirror and smile and say, hey, woman, you are the most beautiful person that I've ever seen or met. And I love you for what you do every day. Yes, my fellow dear Toastmasters, I am here to talk about the very less talked about theme of self-love. Now you might think that self-love is something that could be confused with narcissism. People who are just talking about myself, self, I, me, Shruti, Neha, Ruchira, Dalia, Protiti, just them. No, it's about how you do not let anyone pull you down from where you are or what you're doing. It's about how you uplift yourself each and every day, each and every minute. Because let me tell you one thing, my dear women, that there is no one else who's going to do this for you but yourself. Not your partner, not your kids, not your mother, not your parents. No one, just you, the person who you see in this mirror is going to be the most important person in your own life. Do you agree with me? Thank you so much for the resonance here. I think we can break all the ceilings and all the bridges if we agree to all the thought that I'm presenting here or going to present here. With every Toastmasters meeting, the idea of Toastmasters is to make you a little better, to make you a little improvised version of yourself when you face that mirror or when you face a set of ears and eyes on you. Yes, today's meeting will be divided into 3 parts. The first part will be the prepared speech section, and I will be explaining each part with the help of my concept that I'm going to be talking about. This the theme of the meeting. The prepared speech section. How do you prepare yourself for the situations in your life? Any answers would be good. A situation could be a new job, a new place, a new relationship, a new step, a new promotion in your personal life. Could be daughter, mother, wife, anything. How do you prepare yourself?
I take it the way it comes.
You take it the way it comes. That's very nice. Anyone else? All right.
I analyze like what can go right or wrong and plan accordingly.
See, in a group of, I think, 15 women, we have 2 different answers. Perhaps those are 2 different parts of the same barometer, if we say. One person analyzes the situation, and the other person takes it as it comes. But does it make any way wrong or right? No. Everything is right. It's just how you take it. That is the first step of self-love. Embrace yourself for what you do. And this is what we are going to do here in the prepared speech section. We prepare, we do, and we deliver. The second part is the table topic section, where there are impromptu situations and our subconscious mind comes into play. What happens if you are taken from Calcutta or from wherever place here that you're joining in and thrown into Mars? What would you do? Apart from having the 1/6 of your weighing scale and 1/6 of the gravity, apart from that, what would you do? Anyone? All right, I will begin. I will just ensure that I have a camera in my head and a red lipstick so that I can go there and click pictures in front of the nice backdrops that are there so that my social media is on fleek. All right. This is the second part, that if I am posed with an impromptu situation in my life, I will do whatever I do best. Click pictures perhaps, or be my best. The third part is constant evaluation. And that is the most important part, my dear women. That is that you need to constantly evaluate yourself, whether you are bringing yourself down, or whether you are embracing your situation, or whether you are internalizing any thought that is negative in your own self that pulls you down. And that's where the evaluation part of the Toastmasters meeting comes into play. And here I'm going to call upon stage the madam evaluator of today's meeting, who is going to help us play or do this part of the meeting in a very structured manner. This woman who just shared the story of how anyone can build infinite number of shelves from the life that one gets. That is from birth to death. Yes, if at all you heard the presidential address, you would know whom I'm talking about. I'm talking about our fabulous general evaluator, Toastmaster Ruchira Singh. Can we have a huge round of applause for our Toastmaster Ruchira Singh, please?
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the day, and for referring back to that address for today. Now, coming to the general evaluation section, my job as the general evaluator is to evaluate everyone who takes the podium today. And my job has already started with the Sergeant at Arms when she started speaking. Now, to evaluate the entire session, it's quite a large task. So I have a team of auxiliary role players to help me with this. So I'd like to now call upon each one of them to explain their roles so that we can all be vigilant today. For the first role player, I'd like to call upon the timer, Toastmaster Anisha, to please state her objective.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. As the timer for today, I will be sharing the timings taken by the prepared speeches and the table topic speakers, as well as the evaluators. For prepared speeches, the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. I will show the green card at 5 minutes, the yellow card at 6 minutes, and the red card at 7 minutes. The speaker will get a 30 seconds grace period on both the upper and the lower end to complete their speeches and qualify for voting. Our second part will be the table topics. For table topics, the speaker has to speak for at least 1 minute. The green card will be shown at 1 minute. The yellow card will be shown at 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red card will be shown at 2 minutes. Here also, the speaker will get 30 seconds of grace period to complete their table topics. Remember, you have to speak for at least 1 minute. In case of evaluations, the time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. The green card will be shown at 2 minutes. The yellow card will be shown at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and the red card will be shown at 3 minutes. Similar to the prepared speeches, 30 seconds grace period will be given to the evaluator. I will quickly take some time to show how I will share screen. I will share the green at 5 minutes for prepared speeches, 1 minute for table topics, and 2 minutes for evaluation. The yellow screen will be shared. And finally, the red screen. I hope it is visible to everyone. Madam General Evaluator, if you can confirm once.
Yes, it's absolutely visible.
Okay. Thank you so much, and back to you. And I will give my report at the end when called upon by the General Evaluator. Thank you, and all the best to everyone.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anisha, for stating out all the parts very comprehensively. Moving on to our next role player, the R counter, we have with us Toastmaster Priyanka. Over to you, Toastmaster Priyanka.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Good evening, Toastmaster and future Toastmaster. Imagine a situation when your crush comes up to talk to you and you start saying, you know, uh, I mean, will it leave a good impression on him or her? No, right? As an accounter, I would keep a count of such filler words and crutch words like, mm, like, you know, so, but, etc., which are used out of context in your speech. This helps us in realizing what our own crutch filler words are and help us in making our speeches smoother to listen to. I will present my report when the general evaluator calls me to the podium to do so. Thank you, and back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Priyanka, for such a detailed explanation of the role. Moving on to our next role player, we have with us grammarian Toastmaster Prutiti. Over to you, Toastmaster Prutiti.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. As a grammarian for today's session, my task will be to keep a track of the good usages of grammar and some not so good usages. Now, the good usage of grammar includes some outstanding words or phrases that any of the speakers or role players will use today. And the not so good usages include pronunciation mistakes or grammatical errors. As a grammarian, my task is also to introduce the word of the day. I will also be pasting that in the chat box soon, so don't worry. The word of the day is construe. The word construe means to interpret a word or action in a particular way. One usage would be, she was eager to know how the audience construed the message in her speech. I will present the report at the end of the session when called upon to do so. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Prutiti, for clearly stating your objective as a grammarian. Moving on to our final role player, we have as active listener Toastmaster Jayati. Over to you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everybody. Great to see all of you. I'm so sorry, I cannot switch on my video. Can't state the reasons why. So thank you, General Evaluator. And as I have been introduced, I am the active listener for today's session, and I will be quizzing on your own speeches as and when the general evaluator calls me up on the podium. Thank you very much. All the very best.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jayati. So as we can understand, we have to be very watchful. We need to be very attentive throughout the session if we are to meet with the demands of our role players today. With that, I'd like to hand it over back to our Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Shruti.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ruchira. We'll move to the next section. But before that, I'm just going to talk about self-love again for 90 to 120 seconds. I promise. The second thing that I'm going to tell you about self-love is that self-love happens in three ways: physicality of your being, the mentality of your being, and the spirituality of your being. And this is said by the not so famous writer Toastmaster Shruti Srivastava, because I'm going to be one day for sure. And I'm going to write that in my book, that it will happen in three ways. By physicality, I mean, I will begin with myself. I have curls. I was not very happy with. I was born with it. I have freckles. You cannot see it here because of the light, but I have freckles. And I have taken 10 years and applied some hydroquinone creams, which are very, very harmful, by the way, and straightened my hair 6 times. And I have this bald portion on my head too. But now I embrace it. I'm happy with the imperfections that I have, and I live with them. That is the self-love that begins with physicality. Today's homework for you all is to find one imperfection that you try to perfect each day, and learn to be comfortable in that room sitting with that imperfection. Promise me that you all are going to do that with me and come back and report that in the next meeting. The second part is the mentality. The mentality is, I will again begin with myself. This is self-love, or you can call it narcissism, that I had a very incredibly low day today. I do not know. I do not have my menstruation days on, but nothing wrong with me. But I have an incredibly low day today. But seeing all you beautiful women out here, I feel so happy and so glad. That is the place where the self-love begins, from your mentality. What is it, that one thing that you like to do? I like to speak. And that's where this is my happy place. I feel happy, and this changes my mentality that yes, I can do it and I'm happy. So what? If you fake it, you fake several other things. Let me even not get started here. We all are women and we know we fake a lot of things. Let's fake some happiness for our own self. And the third part is the most important part. That is the spirituality. I'm not talking about any religion or concept of God, but I'm talking about the concept of you. Toastmaster Panna, Toastmaster Ruchira, Toastmaster Nasima, Toastmaster Pratiti, I'm talking about you. You women, you humans are a concept in yourself. You have to be self-aware. You have to understand yourself and then work on it. Until that moment you accept your own being, you cannot love yourself. And if you cannot love yourself, you cannot play the gazillion roles that you play each and every person who demands from you. Thank you so much for listening to me so patiently. I will now move to the first section of the meeting, that is the prepared speech section. And when I asked our first speaker, wait, you have to wait for good things in life, because our first speaker is going to be fabulous. Before that, I would like to call upon stage our first evaluator, who is going to be Toastmaster Neha. Yes. When I asked her, what is self-love for you? She said, I express by giving and doing the best for being what I can or how I can be. Self-love, she regards it as the highest place. And she says she sees it in her capabilities to be a better version of her every day. And this is the reason why perhaps she's the Toastmaster here, and she's going to be the best version of her each day. Can we have Toastmaster Neha on stage to explain the role, to explain the objectives of the speech? Over to you, Toastmaster Neha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shruti. Indeed, self-love is highly regarded. And if we don't, we would be left behind. Now, Toastmaster Kritika is on her first speech today, level 1, P1, that is an icebreaker speech. Timer, please note she would be getting 4 to 6 minutes to deliver her speech, wherein you show a green card at 4 minutes, a yellow card at 5 minutes, and a red card at 6 minutes.
Yes, noted.
The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speaking. Best of luck, Toastmaster Kritika. Over to you, TMOE.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Neha. And since it is going to be the icebreaker speech, I would request each and every one of you to unmute yourself and give her a huge round of applause when she ends the speech. All right, moving on to the speaker herself. She is Toastmaster Kritika. And when I asked her what is self-love for her and how does she express it, she says she does it by cooking something specially for the person whom she loves or whomever she wants to express the love. And sometimes that love could be for ourselves. Yes, doing things for your own self can make you happy. Why always do you have to express your love to someone else outside of your own existentiality? The stage is all yours, Toastmaster Neha. A breath of relief. A breath of relief, Toastmaster Kritika. A breath of relief. A breath of relief, Toastmaster Kritika.
Can you please highlight the speaker, spotlight the speaker?
Yeah. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Who are you? I'm Kritika. So you stay in Nagpur? Yes. Your family is staying in Nagpur? No, actually, my husband works here and I came with him. So basically, you are a housewife. Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. Hello, everyone. I am Kritika, a homemaker, holistic wellness educator, and a qualified engineer. But before everything, I'm a human being, a being with a heart, a soul. I love to do things that brings a smile in my face, that makes me feel happy. But unfortunately, this is not the way the life is supposed to be lived. Knowingly or unknowingly, We all are trapped into the rat race. Majia is a place of my origin. It's a small village in West Bengal. I did my schooling from Raniganj, DAV Raniganj. Raniganj is a place only 6 kilometers away from my village. It's a small town. Now, on those days, to reach school, I used to travel 2 hours. 2 hours was just 6 kilometers. Actually, I used to go to school by crossing a river down there, and we used to cross this river in a boat or a bamboo raft. Now imagine a 4-year kids in the school dress sitting in a boat to cross the river Damodar. Sound interesting? Will it be very adventure? No, actually, for me at that time it was very tiring, because out of 24 hours of a day, 4 hours I was spending on traveling just to school and coming back from school. A wise person once said, nothing happens in life without purpose. So this traveling actually gave me a time to observe the nature, to connect with myself, connect with my inner being. And in the process, I started loving nature. In the process, I started embracing the nature in my heart. Gradually, going forward, I again had to come in the rat race. I had to go to Kota to prepare for IIT JEE, because one of my cousins got into IIT Delhi, and I had to prove that I am no lesser than them. I went to Kota, started preparing. Unfortunately, I didn't crack. But I think it's fortunate I didn't crack, and I ended up in a college in WBUT, which was construed by the relatives and friends as I was not capable, I was a failure. And they looked upon me with the lower eyes as if I was an alien, and I didn't justify my education. Going forward, I got placed, I got into TCS. Here, I understood the true meaning of freedom. Here, I got some wings, but it was not fully I discovered my inner freedom. So I joined Teach for India, an NGO, and in the development sector, I left my corporate job. After being in Teach for India, still there was something missing. The inner purpose of life was missing, and the roadmap to it was not clear. I continued working with different NGOs post my 2 years of fellowship with Teach for India. And meanwhile, I got married to the love of my life. And with him, I moved to Nagpur. Coming here to Nagpur, I got my space, a space to discover myself, to connect within, to find things that really matter to me. I started doing activities like being in silence, meditating. I started giving time to gardening. I started cooking things actually which I always dreamed of. And then finally, I felt that I have got the purpose of my life. This eventually led me to start my own initiative, which is known as Swasthya Bliss. Swasthi is an ancient word in Sanskrit, which means well-being. It denotes all the activities which brings fortune, blessings, and prosperity. So with my initiative, I train people, I make them aware about different aspects of well-being and their interconnections. I take sessions, cooking sessions, I take nature connecting activities, and many more. Now I'll say, it's not like the whole thing which I did before this initiative was a failure and it was useless. In this process, I learned, and this experience, what I have earlier, helped me to what I am today. And I think there are miles to go before I sleep. There are miles to complete, things to complete before I end my journey of life. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Can we all unmute ourselves and give her a huge round of applause for the wonderful icebreaker speech, which never seemed like one? And your speech was such a resonance of my topic and my theme. And I'm so happy to hear about your story, Toastmaster Kritika. There is a slight change in today's section. We are now going to call upon stage the evaluator of Toastmaster Kritika, Toastmaster Neha. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shruti. Now let's have a big round of applause for this maiden person who's given her first icebreaker, and you bowled it, ma'am. Congratulations, very, very well done. Now, good evening, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Toastmaster Kritika, applauds to you on capturing our attention and keeping us fully attentive with your journey of life. A breath of relief. When I say this, you must be actually breathing with relief, aren't you? Now, you excelled at well establishing the relationship with the audience. We were all glued to our seats, and I didn't want to miss a single word. Now, do we all know Toastmaster Kritika well? I need the response from the other Toastmasters and audience. Yes, we do. The struggle, where you were born, where you are now, the struggle on the boat or the bamboo raft was beautifully mentioned. We could feel how it would have been taken, how it would have taken you so long, boarding the boat. I could imagine you when you were talking about that portion, and the way you joined Kota, and then how did you transform and make your dreams come true. You had a captivating opening, and your hand gestures were enhancing your speech. The camera position was very good because we could see half of your body till waist and your body movements. Now, this is a platform where you can use the words, vocabulary, the anecdotes, and you have used it excellent. And it was very relevant to the topic you had taken. Now, that's actually, I construe that you were so positive, even if there were negative times and issues in your life, you've actually taken it positively. But as we all know, the power of Toastmasters journey is the feedback. And as a team, let's just work on few aspects, and that will help you become a better speaker in the days to come. Making your speech, that will help you make your speech more fruitful and impactful. The camera position, though it was visible till the waist, the focus on your face, the light on your face was dim. So we could not see your facial expressions much. So just a location of the camera could have been a little different. You talked about the journey of your life. We could have known a little more on your family, your friends, whom you value, your children, and why couldn't you pursue with your career? That could have given us more light on your life, and we would have known you much better. And the wellness, you talked about the activities connecting to nature. You could have given a simple one example or two, how do you connect, and that could have made us more interested in the topic. So that is all from my side. A brilliant speech. It doesn't seem that it is your first speech on the stage. You were so confident. The eye contact was thorough throughout your speech. And I believe you have miles to go at Toastmaster. This is just the first step towards the 1,000 miles. Congratulations, Toastmaster Kritika, for completing your level. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much for the evaluation, Toastmaster Neha. I have a question in particular to Toastmaster Ruchira. Would you like to add on to the evaluation right now, or when you'll be having your own section?
I think let me add on right now because it's in tandem with the evaluator, what she's spoken. Thanks for giving me the opportunity, Shruti. So coming to the speaker, Toastmaster Kritika, what an inspiring and spirited journey of self-discovery. And as our Toastmaster of the evening said, it was so apt for today evening to go with today's theme. You had a great flow. I'm just adding on to what your evaluator said. You had a great flow, and I like the way that you talked about your unique aspect of how you used to go to school and how that brought about some connection with nature, and how because of that, no matter what you did, you felt something was missing until you went back to nature, and that was very skillfully woven throughout your story. I also really liked the way you went through. You started with school, you went in a chronological order, which is something that is very useful in an icebreaker for us to journey with you as well. I just have a couple of recommendations for you. Towards the start, it seemed like perhaps because of nervousness that you had a bit of a download effect, something which is that the speech was in your memory and you were trying to recall it. So there were a little few points where it was fumbling. So a little more practice would give you the confidence not to have that fumble. The second thing is in terms of having a little bit of pause. There was this place where you asked, I had to travel 2 hours for 6 kilometers. If you'd given that pause between 2 hours and 6 kilometers, we as an audience would, it would have sunk in much deeper with us. The contrasts that you were trying to convey. But overall, it was a great speech. And as your evaluator mentioned, you have miles to go in this journey at Toastmasters. And I'm so glad that you started today. Thank you so much and congratulations on your icebreaker. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much for collating both the evaluations so that it becomes easier for the speaker as well. Moving on to the next section of this meeting, I'm going to tell you, rather prescribe your 7-step medicine to practice self-love. Self-love could be anything. It could be applying that red lipstick on your face and looking at yourself in the mirror. It could be saying no to a party happening around in your place. It could be reading a good book. It could be just sitting, the art of nothingness. It could be staying quiet. It could be talking or calling a friend. It could be leaving their messages on blue ticks. Or it could be just being in your own zone because you are protecting your energy. You are practicing self love. You are keeping yourself as a priority. If you have a list of 10 to do things in your diary, make sure the number one is you and your name there. Because by the time we are at an age where we learn about ourselves, we say, I was always the top of my priority list because I cannot take myself for granted. Let's take a pledge, my dear women. Place your right hand on your heart and say it out loud that I, Toastmaster Shruti, and take your name here, will not take myself for granted ever. Thank you so much for this promise. And I'm sure make sure you abide by that promise. Going to the 7-step prescription medicine that I talked about, the first step of practicing self-love is becoming mindful. If you want to practice self-love, you have to become mindful of what you do. If you're eating, be in that moment. If you're in this meeting, be in this meeting. If you're talking to your friend, dedicate those 5 or 10 minutes or 30 minutes to that friend listening to the conversation. Be mindful in whatever you do. Second thing, act on what you need rather than what you want. We may want to be a millionaire, but do we really need to be a millionaire to be happy? No. You have to understand there is a difference between your needs and your wants. And to practice self-love, you need to clarify those two things from of the solution of your life, precipitate and the liquid or the solvent. Third thing, practice self-good care. Going to a salon, going to a parlor, getting a good haircut, or buying a nice Zara t-shirt is not just about splurging on money or splurging or making a big hole in your pocket. It's about that you want to look good for yourself, that you want to take care of your personality. Fourth, set boundaries. That is very important, and I will re-emphasize on this fact that we as women are never taught to say no. We are never taught to say no. We are always asked to adjust. And I might sound like a feminist, but that is the truth of life. My mother taught me that you have to do You have to abide by the laws. You have to abide by your husband. You have to do what they say. You have to do what I say. The society is bad. Everything will be bad, my dear mother, but I have to stand upright for my own self. Set boundaries. This is something that I can do. This is something that I cannot do. I'm sorry. For once and for all. That's it. The fifth thing is protect yourself. Protection of yourself does not mean to having a nunchuck in your hand and practicing that zoom, zam, zoom karates. No. Protection means to protect your mental energy, to protect your personality. If someone says, hey, Shruti, your curls are very bad, it's okay. I'm happy with those bad girls. What about you? What is so good or bad about you? Or if someone says, hey, your teeth are yellow. Oh, at least I have a color card on my teeth. Yeah. Don't make a comment on that. Protect yourself from everything. Or if you want, you can put a black mark here. That will protect you from negative energies. The next thing is forgive yourself. Even if you made a mistake today, forgive it. You are not a bad person. The circumstance was not good. You are not a bad mother. You're not a bad wife. You're not a bad daughter, bad daughter-in-law, bad person, not a bad colleague at all. It was something that happened out of the circumstantial pressure. Understand that. Do not be so hard on yourself. We all are humans. And the last and very important thing is to live intentionally. I'm not asking you to set your intentions for your life that I want to probably marry Hrithik Roshan. Nah, I'm happy with one. I do not want to go into the other trap. But I want to date Hrithik Roshan, but that cannot be my intention, however, whatever I do. But my intention for sure is when I sleep, I do not have a tear in my eye. And no one else is responsible to wipe that tear off my eye, just I am. These are the 7 steps of practicing self love. And self love happens in 3 parts: physicality, mentality, and spirituality. I hope you internalize what I'm saying and you do it from now on because you just pledged with me. Moving on to the next section of our meeting is the table topic section, and for which I'm going to call upon stage the very, very wonderful table topic master, Toastmaster Priya Sinha on stage. Can we have Toastmaster Priya Sinha on stage, please?
Yes, yes. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shruti. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, Toastmaster of the day, and dear guest. As introduced, I am the table topic master for the day. As we know, life is full of challenges, be it in office, with your boss, be it in an interview, be it at your home during daily chores, be it in the society in general. You you have to deal with them unexpectedly. You also face lots of problem to tackle with all these situations. The table topic session is the learning platform which teaches us how to be spontaneous with different situations and also helps us to get confidence as a regular speaker. I am here with you all to give some topics on which you have to speak 2-3 minutes with 30 seconds grace for 30-second grace for the upper limit. I also request to dear guest to participate in the table topic segment, and if you feel unable to speak on the given topic, you are allowed to change the topic with another one. I also encourage you all to use the word of the day. I have curated a list of table topics which is related to the theme self-love. The more self-love you have for yourself, the better prepared you are for the happy life. I am also I also love self-love because I am getting prepared to lead my life happy and take care of my needs, my happiness, everything, and not sacrificing my myself uh, my myself for to please others. Let's start. Let's start. Um, the volunteers to put their names in the chat for table topic session. Can I see?
You have a nomination from the chat, Toastmaster Protiti.
Are you ready to give the
Yes,
please
Madam
volunteer?
Topics Master.
Give your name.
Yes. Yes, I volunteered in the chat box. I'm ready.
Who?
Hi, I'm Pratiti.
Prakriti. What's the name? Kalpita.
Toastmaster Protiti, she's been spotlighted.
Prakriti. Okay, Prakriti. And next?
Ruchira, is it possible to spotlight both the speaker and the timer? Because some of us are in the mobile so that we can see both of them. We can do double or multiple spotlighting.
Yeah, I'm just adding her to the spotlight, and you can also pin her from your side. That would make it easier for you.
Okay.
Can I start?
Yes, you can, Toastmaster Priya.
Okay. May I request Toastmaster Prakriti. Your may I request Toastmaster Prakriti? Toastmaster Prakriti, self-love is an art to be practiced. Self-love is an art to be practiced. Toastmaster Prakriti.
Thank you so much, Madam Table Topic Master, for such an insightful topic. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, and Madam Table Topics Master as well. And it is rightly said that self-love does not come overnight. It is not something that you learn in a few minutes or in a few days. It is something that you have to consistently practice day in and day out. I have particularly understood the importance of self-love in the past 1 year. Today is March 14th, and I believe we are covering a 1 year anniversary of the COVID situation, the pandemic, and the lockdown that ensued because of that pandemic. And I think everyone sitting here would agree with me on this, that this lockdown has taught us several lessons, and one such lesson which I took away from this situation was the importance of self-love. Before this lockdown, I used to invest a lot of energy in other people, or satisfying or pleasing other people's needs or what they expected out of me. But during this lockdown, I realized I need to have my own back. I need to love myself first and foremost, and then I can respect other people's needs. But I need to satisfy my own needs first. So I took up a couple of strategies throughout the lockdown to help myself. One would be taking up yoga or meditation, and those practices improved my mental well-being as well as physical well-being in a massive way. Another thing that was a manifestation of self-love, and I understood that later, was joining this community in the first place. It happened as a happenstance situation because I had just come to know about the community from my friend here, Toastmaster Ruchira, and I did not expect to learn so much from this platform in such a short time. And truly, I believe that even all of us sitting here and trying to become better speakers, there can be no better manifestation of self-love than this. So I applaud all of you sitting here, taking out your time and trying to better yourselves. Over to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
All right. It was quite good. Well done. Thank you, Toastmaster Prakriti. Now, move to another Toastmaster speaker. May I request to Shruti Srivastava? Self-love is not selfish. Self-love is not selfish. Toastmaster Shruti Srivastava.
2 years ago, I had to make a decision. My spouse was transferred to a new city with a new job, which was a great career change in his life, which he was striving to get from a long, long time. And we had lived apart in a distant marriage, not even a relationship, for 6 years before that. And it was just 6 months since we started living together here in Calcutta. And it was again time to make a move for him. I was forced, I was pressurized to make a move with him. But I was here, I secured a nice job. I was very happy with my parent in laws, and I had a comfortable life here. Did I make a move? No, I didn't. I fought my way out. I, I'm lucky that I did not have to fight for it, but I just placed my points that the way my spouse's career is important, exactly in the same way, my career is also very important. The way you have spent money on his education and the way you think that your son or your offspring should do well in his life, the same way you have to think about your offspring spouse to do well in life and about my own parents who want their offsprings to do well in life. Was it selfish? Or was it keeping myself as a priority and not budging for the fact that I do not want to make a move? I'm happy living with you all, my dear parent in laws, and I will stay with you. Perhaps take care of you, take care of the things here, and be happy and contented with my job. And the second option was that was a remote area. I could not have gotten Toastmasters back then. Things were not online. But who tells them that? Because they would not perhaps understand what is Toastmasters and why am I so crazy about it. But I prioritized my life above everyone else's. And I do not regret it, by the way. I missed him. I used to tell him that I miss your presence around me, but I'm happy to be in my own space. And now that I have the whole wardrobe and the cupboard and the bed to myself, who says no to that? At least I won't. That was self love for me, my dear women, and I practiced it, and I do not regret even a bit of it. And now we are here together. Toastmasters is also online. Who cares? Over to you, Madam Table Topic Speaker, Table Topic Master.
Very good. Meaning of the topic was well conveyed. Now, move to the another one. Can I request Toastmaster Panna? Is it more important to love or be loved? Toastmaster Panna. Is it more important to love or be loved? Toastmaster Panna.
Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. I believe both. It is equally important to be loved and to love. Unless you receive love, you don't know how much to value it. You don't know how to give it back. So when we are kids, I grew up in a family where there was unrestricted love everywhere. There were expressions of love. We did not just hold back. If we were happy, we used to express it. If we were angry, we used to express it. And so we used to express love. There was a lot of hugging and kissing. My mother would do it with all the kids, and we ourselves would express it to our parents and the siblings. And I grew up in a family like this. But I married into a family where they were not very expressive. So there was no expressions of love over there. But I, on my own, started all this, celebrating birthdays, celebrating every special moment. And that slowly, they understood that this is her way of expressing her love. And they started loving me back. And even with my children, I have two kids. My younger one, the son, he did not like to be hugged a lot. He just didn't like it. But I made it a point that be it a girl, be it a boy, you are going to be loved. You are going to be hugged by me. And slowly he started accepting it. Friends, we need to be loved first to feel special. And then only we can carry it forward. We know how to love others when we are loved first. And like the self-love that we were talking about, yes, unless we love ourselves, unless we value ourselves, unless we know what is our self-worth, we will never be able to carry it forward. We will never ever be able to love others. Other feelings like anxiety, stress, jealousy, all these will creep in. But when we love ourselves, when we value ourselves, we know our self-worth, we can love unconditionally. So my friends, it is important to love ourselves, to be loved, and to love. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much. The topic was well covered. Now,
Madam Table Topic Master.
Another speaker.
Madam Table Topic Master. There are two more nominations, guest Kalpita and Toastmaster Anushwa. They're nominated in the chat.
Only, okay. Now over to, I would like to hear from the dear guest. It will be nice. Please, may I request Kalpita, Toastmaster Kalpita?
Yes, please.
Your topic is, yeah.
Yes.
Loving ourselves works miracle in our lives. Loving ourselves works miracles in our lives. Toastmaster Kalpita.
Toastmaster Priya, can you give me another topic?
Okay, sure. Does self-love help in a relationship? Toastmaster Kalpita, does self-love help in a relationship?
Yes. Thank you, Toastmaster Priya. And hello, everyone. Just we were hearing our previous speaker saying that being loved and giving love both are very important. And my topic is self-love improves our relationship. That is very true, that it is very important that we love others, and at the same time, if we see that we love others who come in our life, in a day-to-day life, we can also see that how are we also given the importance and love by them. It is very I'm sorry, I just lost the track. Extremely sorry. I'll take it up next time. Toastmaster Priya, I'll take it up next time. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Toastmaster Priya, you're on mute. Toastmaster Priya, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
Now move to another speaker. My guest Jayati, Toastmaster Jayati. You were born to be real, not perfect. Toastmaster Jayati, you were born to be real, not perfect.
Toastmaster Priya, I don't think I nominated myself for the table topic session. Anyway, well, I would request if with your permission, Madam General Evaluator, may I request if the guest would like to take up this topic?
We have a Toastmaster nomination, Toastmaster Anushwa, if you would like to take it up.
Yeah, because I didn't nominate myself, so.
I understand.
Okay, sorry.
No problem, no problem.
Then may I request Shahida? My guest Shahida.
Yes, so I would need the topic. I was just shifting room. So can I just get the topic, please? Toastmaster Priya. Okay. Am I audible, visible?
Yeah. You are. Your attitude determines direction.
Good evening to everyone. So my topic today is our attitude determines our direction. So what is attitude? Attitude is a collection of our outlook or how we look at life. Indeed, there has been many an experience where my attitude decided what my direction in life would be. To give you an example, when I left my corporate life 4 years ago, I had nothing much to do. My outlook towards life was completely blank. I had no idea what or where am I heading towards. But then I got in touch with people, my friends, my relatives. They kept saying that you need to find a niche where you will be comfortable. I had my own reasons why I had left my corporate job. So they said you will find a job which will help you to balance life as well as work. First, I thought my life is gone. I considered myself a retired person at the age of 36, 37. I have nothing more to look in life, just devote myself to childcare because my husband was outside and all that I knew was household chores. And then one great person, my uncle-in-law, he told me that I should take part in a leadership program called MILT. And I said, okay, let me try it out. I am an HR professional. What leadership group training will groom me into? But I went there and I saw it's much, much different. And as our TOMD speaker spoke today, it talked about well-being in 3 dimensions. It talked about getting well in emotional, in physical, as well as in our spiritual well-being. And my attitude at that moment, my dear friends, decided and directed my life. Just now, I was in a program where I was anchoring a program on well-being, women's well-being based on Women's Day. And that has given me a direction. Yes, my calling is to help out women and be with women. And that is where I got a change, got a direction in my life by having the right attitude in life. Thank you so much.
It was amazing. Thank you, Toastmaster Ruth. Now may I request Toastmaster Anushwa. Toastmaster Anushwa.
Am I audible?
It's a little soft, Anushwa.
Am I audible now?
Yes. Loving starts with the self. Toastmaster Anuswa, loving starts with the self. Toastmaster Anusua.
So if I be permitted, can I please go and switch off the fan? I won't be able to speak then. I won't be able to speak. Just give me 1 minute.
Okay. Wait a minute.
So my topic is loving starts with one. First of all,
Yes,
a very
loving
good
starts
evening.
with the self.
Loving starts with the self.
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, a very good evening to the fellow Toastmasters and the TMOD and the TTMD. Loving starts with one or with self, as said by TTM. So if I don't love myself, how can I love others? If I don't love what I do, what I look, what my habits are, how can I see the positive in others? Today I feel that I'm very plump and I need to lose weight. And I criticize my every aspect. Then I'll just go around to everyone and feel that no, that person is not perfect. That person is not perfect. She should be tall, she should be fair, she should have straight hair, she should have curly hair, etc. etc. But if I love myself as the way I am, as the way God has given to me, or as the way my parents have brought me up, I will also start considering everyone or start loving everyone as they are, as the person they have been brought onto in this earth, not as some superficial being. Loving oneself is very important. Loving our mistakes, loving our joys, and even our wrongdoing, and finding way to correct it is very natural. So, before finding anyone who can love us with our flaws and with our mistakes, it's very necessary to love ourselves. It's very necessary to love us along with our flaws. Until and unless we do it, we can never find the better things or the good things in others. So before you find the good in others, or before you find someone to point out what good you have in yourself, find the good yourself you have in you. But because if you haven't finished that line, then believe me, no one can do that for you. That's all. Over to the table topic, master.
Thank you. It was brilliantly said. What a nice speech. Now, thank you everyone who have participated. I hope you all enjoyed the session. Over to Toastmaster of the day, TM Shruti.
Can we have a huge round of applause for conducting this self-love oriented table topic session, which gave us several chances to disseminate the information that we had around love, self-love, and share our stories. Toastmasters provide a wonderful platform for everyone, for all humans who want to share their stories. And I strongly believe in the fact that what are we? We are walking stories, wanting, yearning inherently to be heard, to be understood. And to be understood is to be loved. Yes. I would now move to the third section of the meeting, which is evaluation. And I would again remind you that when you are embracing or embarking upon this journey of self-love, constantly evaluate yourself. Maybe from the speaker Toastmaster Kritika, or from the speaker Toastmaster Shahida, or from Toastmaster Anashua, who shared their stories of sheer bravery, how they see themselves and how they fight the constant battle every day. Evaluate yourself, but do not be hard on yourself. I would now call upon stage the wonderful general evaluator who is going to be really kind and sweet while evaluating each one of us. Can we have a huge round of applause for the fabulous Toastmaster Ruchira Singh, please?
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the evening. And let's keep it going for our wonderful Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Shruti. Now, coming to the evaluation section today, since we've already completed the evaluation of the prepared speaker, I'll start by evaluating the session as a whole in chronological order. So we started at 6:30 with our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Dahlia. She started off the meeting with great enthusiasm, great energy, explained the three roles, and was crisp and concise. Moving on to our next role player, we had as the Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Shruti, and you started off with such a in such a scintillating way, with your camera off and then coming on screen with the heart on your cheek, that it just takes a lot of courage to start off a session the way that you did, Toastmaster Shruti. I really like the fact that you had a seamless transition between what your theme was and the general parts of a Toastmaster meeting which need to be explained. For example, you talked about how we can take things the way they come, or analyze the right or the wrong, and how you compared that to the being prepared for prepared speech section, or the subconscious mind that controls us in the table topic impromptu section, or how we have to internalize the good or the bad that we see in ourselves for the evaluation section. That showed a lot of thought that you had put into this role play, and it came across very well. I also really like the fact that you had little points of homework for your members today, all throughout the session. You had a lot of takeaways about when you talked about made us take an oath, or whether you talked about not just listening to the things that you said, like setting boundaries, but to internalize them as well. And as I told you before, that I'm glad that I was a G and I've written down everything that you've said today, because I get to keep a little tab of everything that you mentioned today. Moving on to our table topic section, let me start with our table topic master, our first time table topic master, Toastmaster Priya. First of all, Toastmaster Priya, thank you so much for taking the initiative to take up this role. It really shows that every time that you take up a role, that you take a chance to speak and to better yourself and to learn something as well. And you started off by stating the objective very clearly. You explained why table topics is needed in a normal Toastmaster session. You also explained about the timing and the guest rule. Although, if I may correct you, the timing for a table topic is 1 to 2 minutes, not 2 to 3 minutes. But that's something that can be worked upon. Now, coming to the topics that you chose themselves, the topics themselves, I love the fact that they were totally apt and appropriate with the theme. And as our Toastmaster of the evening has mentioned, that everyone got to assimilate all the points that they had learned in today's session and bring forth their personal aspects as well. So that was very thoughtfully done. Thank you so much, Table Topic Master, Toastmaster Priya. Now, coming to each of our table topic speakers, let me start with Toastmaster Protiti. Your first topic was self-love is an art to be practiced. What I really liked about your speech, Toastmaster Protiti, is that you started off with a personal example about how you used to keep investing energy in others. And then you slowly learned over this past 1 year about how you need to satisfy your needs. And you talked about how you started doing yoga. And then you moved on to how you joined Toastmasters and why you feel that Toastmasters itself is a form of self love, because this is a place that you get to learn and grow and better yourself as well. Overall, I really like the fact you had two separate examples and you had a good pace, and it was a very good take and well-rounded take on the topic as well. Moving on to our second speaker, Toastmaster Shruti. Your topic was self-love isn't selfish. And you started off with a very strong personal example about the story of you and your spouse and how you had to challenge yourself to prioritize yourself above your spouse. And that's not always easy to do. And you showed us through your story, it took a lot of courage. However, since you are going for the division level in the table topics, I'd like you to challenge yourself to get two examples, not just stick to one. You had time after the green card to start another topic before you move to your conclusion. And coming to your conclusion, you talked about Toastmasters and you drew in a parallel, and that was very well done, and your passion came through. If you just try for one more example, I'm sure that you'll be able to ace the division level as well. Moving on to our third table topic speaker, Toastmaster Panna. Your topic was, is it more important to love or to be loved? And I love the way that you summarized your answer to this topic right in the first sentence when you said, unless you receive love, how will you give love? And with that, you showed us not only your stance on the topic, but you also kept us focused on the way that you were thinking. You talked about the contrast between your childhood, the way that you were taught to express love, and the problem that you saw when you got married. And you showed the change that you did by celebrating birthdays and showing that expressing love is something that is just something that is so natural. And I also love the fact that you had a little takeaway at the end of your table topic about how we need to know our self-worth if we are to be able to love others as well. Overall, a very balanced take on the table topic, and congratulations again, Toastmaster Panna. Moving to our fourth speaker, we had guest Kalpita, and your topic was loving ourselves works miracles on lives. I apologize, you changed it to, does self love have a place in a relationship? Guest Kalpita, first of all, let me congratulate you and applaud you on nominating during a Toastmaster session. It takes a lot of guts to do that. And I love the way that you stood up for yourself and showed that you prioritized yourself by asking for a change of question right at the start. You also started off right away when you got a question and a topic that you knew. And when you talked about, when you talked about and you were perfectly on track. But when you felt that you had lost track, the key over here, a sort of suggestion, is to think of some personal story where this may have applied in your life, because we as human beings find it much easier to talk about ourselves than to talk about an abstract topic. So you could have been able to fill the time to the minimum 1 minute. But congratulations on starting on volunteering on this table topic, and I'm sure if you keep attending our sessions, you'll get to practice more and become even better. Moving on to our fifth table topic speaker, Toastmaster Shahida. Your topic was about how the attitude determines the direction in life. What I loved about your take on this topic was that you not only had a personal story, which a lot of people did, but you were able to inject a lot of voice modulation in a table topic story, and that is a beautiful skill that you have. You talked about how you left your corporate job and that you were looking to find a niche for yourself, and then you transitioned very smoothly into your MILT program, and how you've just come from an anchoring session and how you found out what your calling is. And it was all because you had the right attitude of not giving up when you decided to take a break from the corporate world, or not listening to what others had to say, but believing in yourself. And that was a very strong take on the table topic. Kudos to you on such a great take as well. Moving on to our sixth table topic speaker, Toastmaster Anushwa. Your topic was loving starts with the self. And Toastmaster Anushwa, I love the way that you started with a question. That was something that was so introspective about, if I don't see the positive or love in myself, how am I supposed to see that in someone else? From that one line, you showed that the inside is a true reflection of the outside. And before looking for love or looking for any kind of emotion on the outside, we need to give that emotion and that feeling to us on the inside. And you brought that idea about beautifully in your table topic. And thank you so much for your take on the topic. With that, I come to the end of my evaluation section, and I'd like to take the reports from our auxiliary role players for the evening. I request our timer, Toastmaster Anisha, to please give the timings of the table topics, prepared speaker, and the evaluator.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator, and good evening, everyone. Once again, I will be sharing the timings for starting the prepared speaker. Our prepared speaker, I made some mistake. It was for 4 to 6 minutes. Our prepared speaker, Toastmaster Kritika, has taken 5 minutes 35 seconds. Her evaluator, Toastmaster Neha, has taken 3 minutes 54 seconds, and she has missed the mark of 3 minutes 30 seconds. So she is not qualified for voting. Next, we come to the table topic speakers, starting with Toastmaster Pratiti. She took 2 minutes 21 seconds. Toastmaster Shruti took 2 minutes 28 seconds. Toastmaster Padna took 2 minutes 30 seconds exactly. I was about to share the and then it was just 2 minutes 30 seconds. Guest Kalpita took 1 minute 16 seconds. In between, I believe there was some conversation between the GE and the table topic master that has not been taken into account. Next, we have Toastmaster Shahida. She took 2 minutes and 5 seconds, and Toastmaster Anushwa took 2 minutes and 2 seconds. So that's all from my side, and back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anisha, for such a concise report and for taking note of everything very meticulously today. Moving on to our next role player, we have as our counter Toastmaster Priyanka. Over to you, Toastmaster Priyanka, to please state your report.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. I will present my counter report. President and General Evaluator TM Ruchira, for multiple times, for 2 times, and repeats on 2 times. TM Modi and table topic speaker 2, TM Shruti, once and repeat once. Timer TM Anisha, for multiple times. Grammarian and table topic speaker 1, TM Pratiti, 1 once. First speaker, TM Kritika, for multiple times, for once. Evaluator uh, Evaluator 1, TM Neha, for multiple time, repeat for once. Table topic master, TM Priya, for multiple times, for multiple times, and repeat for multiple times. Table topic speaker, TM Kalpita, for once, for once. Table topic speaker, TM Shahida, repeat once. Table topic speaker 6, TM Anushwa, repeat 2 times. The people who are flawless or who would never fall down in front of their crushes are TM Protiti, TM Jayati, TM Pannari. If anyone wants the exact count of their crutch and filler words, they can contact me personally. I can share the count details. Thank you. And back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much for listening and marking all the R's and Ums so carefully, and for again taking up the role for the first time. And congratulations on the role. Well done, Toastmaster Priyanka.
Thank you so much.
Moving on to our third role player, we have as grammarian Toastmaster Prathiti. Over to you, Toastmaster Prathiti.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was facing some technical issues. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. So as for the report, I'll be starting with some of the good usages that I noted down. Some good phrases that were used are other end of barometer, trapped in rat race, miles to go before I sleep, and the download effect. Some of the good words that were used are captivating, enhance, collating, striving, and niche. Some of the not so good uses are as follows. There was once a usage of smile in my face. It would be smile on my face. That's a better way of putting it. Another part was, will it be very adventure? It's better to say, will it be very adventurous? Another usage was, used it excellent. It would be used it excellently. And as for the word of the day count, the word construe was used once by our prepared speaker, Toastmaster Kritika, and once by her evaluator, Toastmaster Neha. And with that, I complete my report, and back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Madam Grammarian Toastmaster Prathiti, for such a wonderful role play as well, and for giving us a word of the day that was used, which is not always the case, but thank you for doing that. And finally, we move to our final auxiliary role player, our active listener, Toastmaster Jayati. Over to you, Toastmaster Jayati.
Wow, wow, wow. Such a lovely evening, beautiful interaction, great speeches, and TM Shruti, the love that you're radiating from your face is just, putting me in a spotlight. Great. Thank you so much. Okay, ladies, are we ready for some questions? May I, General Evaluator? Thank you. Okay. I need to have my own back. I need to have my own back. Anyone?
Was it Shruti? Toastmaster Shruti?
No, it was TM Pratiti. Okay, no problem, no problem. I love you for what you do every day. Who said this? I love you for what you do.
I have two guesses if I'm allowed. I think either Toastmaster Shruti or Toastmaster Panna. I can't recall.
You're right on the first one, Pratati. Yay! Yes, that was Shruti. I love you for what you do every day. Okay, are we ready for the next one? Nothing happens in life without purpose. She said this.
I said this, Kritika.
Okay. Yes, TM Kritika, great, great. Okay, the next one is you have to find a niche where you'll be comfortable. I think everybody should know this. You have to find a niche.
Toastmaster Shahid, I guess.
Yes,
Toastmaster, I'm not
absolutely.
sure, sorry.
Absolutely. Yes, Pratiti, you're right. You're right. And this is her way of expressing her love. Who said that?
Toastmaster Shruti.
No, another try. This is her way of expressing her love.
Toastmaster Panna.
Yes, absolutely. Wow, we have such great listeners over here. And that's it, Madam General Evaluator. Great having the session and journeying in. And may I just put a personal question to TM Shruti? Can you give me the number of that color? Thank you.
Yes, that was. Oh, I'm sure she'd like to put it in the chat for all of us to see.
Which one? This one or this one?
The one you're radiating from your cheeks. It's brilliant.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jayati, for such a wonderful role play and for mixing up the questions so that we don't know the order of the people.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. With that, I come to the end of the evaluation section as a whole. And while our Toastmaster evening checks out the lipstick number and lets us know, we'll move on to the final section, which is the conclusion. Now, before we move to the end, I just quickly post the voting link in the chat. Please vote for all the role players. It acts as a motivation for each and every one of us to take up our roles every week at the meeting. Now, while we fill in the form, I'd like to take a little bit of feedback from our guests and Toastmasters who are present here. I'd like to start with our guest, Kalpita. May I know how you liked the session today and any feedback on how we can improve if you have any?
Yes, the session was really nice. It was like I was fully engaged, like as though I was not able to answer the questions that was asked by Toastmaster Jayati, but actually could not recall the names also properly. But it was really nice, very engaging, and I would love to continue in this kind of session for the future.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Yes.
So glad to hear that. All right, so keep joining our sessions, guest Kalpita, and we'll connect again offline.
Yes, sure. Thank you so much.
I'd also like to take this opportunity to ask our Toastmaster Nasima. We haven't heard from you today evening. Would you like to share a little bit about your thoughts about today's session or the theme in general? Toastmaster Nasima, are you there? Perhaps she can't hear us right now. Why don't I ask, let me ask Toastmaster Anisha. Oh, there she is. Toastmaster Nasima? Yeah. You're on mute.
Yes, Toastmaster Ruchira. I think should I go ahead? Nasima is back. Yeah, she can.
Yeah, I'll be with you in a minute, Anisha.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, after joining this Toastmaster, I'm coming to learn many new things, and it's nice to know about the people. I have joined last session, and yeah, still a bit nervous, but everyone is doing best of their ability, and even I'm getting some interest to participate for being giving an icebreaker speech for next time. Yes, that's it.
That's lovely. That is so great to hear, Toastmaster Nasima. And I'm sure that the VP Education has already noted down, and we are all looking forward to hearing your speech next week. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nasima. Coming back to you, Toastmaster Anisha, thank you so much for taking up the role. And we'd love to hear about what you thought of the session and any feedback, if any.
Yes, thank you so much, Toastmaster Ruchira, first and foremost for giving me the opportunity to take up the role. And apologies from my end, I'm not able to switch on my video because I'm on the road right now.
We understand.
But thoroughly enjoyed the session, and the positivity that was there, I think that was the key factor and absolutely loved everyone who spoke, especially the icebreaker was brilliant. So I would love to join the future sessions, and all the best to the speakers here. They were amazing. Be it Shahida, be it anyone else. I've listened to a few others previously, and it was so great to see them once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anisha. Thank you so much for your feedback. Could I please remind you all to quickly fill in the form? We just have had 3 responses. Please do fill in the form. And in the meantime, I'd like to ask Toastmaster Kritika. You spoke after a hiatus of about 8 to 10 years. You said, how did it feel coming back to the Toastmasters podium and giving an icebreaker today?
It actually like since the period I was not in Toastmaster, I used to miss Toastmaster, and I was not able to join the Toastmaster meeting because of various reasons. So like when it started happening online, I just felt like this is a time I should grab into and use it. So it was a great means opportunity, and Toastmaster is always a good platform. I remember the first time when in before so many years I gave, I was very shy. I was very shy and very scared of the stage. And like that time I used to take means like I gave hardly one or two in my 1 year tenure, and I was very shy always to take up the roles or speeches there. So it's felt great that this time I'm taking this opportunity and coming back to stage again. Thank you for creating this wonderful club and to learn from so many people.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kritika. With that, I'd like to ask our guest Toastmaster Protiti over here how she felt about the session and if you have any feedback for us. And thank you for taking up the role this week.
Yeah, I don't know what is happening with my mute button in Zoom. It's not wanting to get unmuted. Thank you, Toastmaster Ruchira, for giving me the opportunity for taking up this role. And it's always wonderful to come back here, like from the start, from the demo meetings, and now we are in meeting number 2 already. And I feel that this club is like progressing in leaps and bounds. And I absolutely love all the members here, their positivity and their willingness to learn and grow. And no feedback as such from my end, nothing. I just want to keep coming back here and enjoying your presence. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Protiti. With that, we do have the results with us, and let me quickly read out the winners for today's meeting. So as best speaker, please unmute yourself and give a round of applause to our best speaker, Toastmaster Kritika. Our best role player for category 1, which comprises general evaluator, the Toastmaster of the day, and table topic master, goes to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shruti. Our best role player for category 2 goes to our grammarian Toastmaster Prutiti. Our best table topic speaker today goes to our Toastmaster Shahida. And the most improved speaker for today goes to Toastmaster Priya. Congratulations to all the winners of today's session. With that, now that we have been chartered, we officially have the gavel and I close the meeting today.